himself, and he's looking across from his entire office, and the thing just like comes out of a doorway or a closet and just starts like walking towards him. And it's just, again, because we've established that this isn't necessarily a supernatural film, that moment makes you feel so uneasy and like it has to be a dream or something, because it doesn't make any sense in connection to the rest of what you've seen in this movie when it comes to like to the logic of the scares or anything. So it is like very uniquely scary in that moment. And I also like right before that, because he's kind of getting on the killer's trail a little bit. He goes to the crime scene, and through like the condensation of the hot water, he unveils a message in the mirror that says like it was, right. And then it, cuts so that you don't find out. But I just liked that kind of, I don't know, that procedural beat that they did. It was kind of smart and just kind of fun and creepy to think like right before she passed on, she tried to write it in the mirror. But
how could she even tell? Look at how he was dressed. Yeah. Who's to say? Because I mean, like when the professor gets killed, it is like, breaking his teeth on the fireplace mantle and then stabbing him in the neck on the table. There's some pretty gruesome details in this one.
That one is crazy, and the way that like it's so obvious that he didn't want just. There was something about that I think he felt was very visceral and very like maybe Argento was almost intrigued by the shot, because he doesn't just hit his teeth off of a corner one time. He does it like 5 times, almost like it's this like fetishistic thing that he's doing to the guy specifically before he just decapitates him or whatever he does. But it's so specific, and he does it on like 3 different corners. It's just teeth stuff really bothered me, so that was a big one.
Yeah, teeth stuff is always fucked up.
Yeah, it's just it's close to eyeballs. It's like one of those just. I think it's so specific. That's why it kind of gets under our skin. There's like a specific pain that you can understand from that specific area.
I mean, this does, I think, I understand why this is like, it is a top tier Argento for most people, because it does have like some of the best set pieces in this and the best kills in his entire like career, in terms of how many, like, again, like how many we've already done. We've already done like the scalding water one, which is incredibly iconic. We've already done this teeth getting bashed in after the doll is like coming out and attacking him, the use of the eyeball in the closet. Like some of these sequences are just fantastic. And I mean, obviously the one of the woman being shoved through the glass and it slitting her throat is like, a big one. And there's still 2 more to come in this movie, in this finale. Which are pretty crazy. And the first big one is sort of as we are starting to uncover some of the reveals of the film. It takes one more really long sequence of him going back to the house to dig around some more, because he bashes in a wall to find a hidden room where there's a decomposing corpse covered in cobwebs. He gets sort of knocked unconscious, and he wakes up to Gianna holding him. And I think you're meant to think at first, like, oh shit, the twist is once again that the man in the trench coat doing all the serial killing is his
romantic interest as well. So
but it turns out that she actually rescued him from the burning house, and it was someone else who had knocked him out. I do like the way he paints it. Like it becomes, I think as soon as he does paint it that way, it becomes obvious that she's not that character. But I like that it's the shot of her like kind of almost silhouetted while she's holding him, and the burning house is in the background as she's like saying like, I rescued you. It does have that implication of, she's behind it. If you know the rules of these movies, you're going to know that they've pretty much told you she's not the killer by doing that. But I do like the implication. I think it's really well shot. Also, right before that, they do have this kind of cute moment where they're talking about like he's freaking out, so he wants to like escape to Spain or some shit. And there's something really adorable about her delivery with when she goes to the door and is kind of doing this like kind of cute walk out to act like funnily sexy at him, almost mockingly. Yeah. And she does this little spin right before she closes the door. I just loved it. I thought it was very charming, and I think she was like, she was like, we need to go on like a sexy Spanish road trip together, and he's just incredibly like disoriented by the entire mystery component. At one point, he literally just goes, seriously, I have to admit, I don't know what's going on right now, and it's like that is If that is not a Giallo character summed up, like what the fuck?
We just gotta leave. I'm fucking done. I do love when he goes back to the mansion to unveil more from a wall. There is this one thing that they do with the prog rock. Like, don't get me wrong, this whole thing is great. But there's this one thing that was very distinct to me where they hold this synth that's a wildly long held note with a lot of grit and kind of distortion built within the scene. And it's so long that I just noticed it, and it felt like it was a good way to kind of unveil the second step of whatever he was kind of uncovering with that wall when he revisits the mansion. Because I think it's like he gets a photograph that he recognizes there's an extra layer that was built on top of the mansion that wasn't there before or something like that. But regardless, Goblin's work in that sequence with the long held synth back into the prog rock rhythm is just fucking killer.
Yeah, if only Edgar Allan Poe had been around long enough to see prog rock, and maybe that's what his characters would have done when they were finding the corpses in the walls. Yeah.
He's like, as soon as that raven popped into
he was like, this is what the black cat and the telltale heart always needed.
Yeah. It would be awesome as like for Telltale Heart, just the close up of when they're discovering the body and the guy's face is getting closed up, and instead it's just like prog metal. That's just good stuff. We need to remake every Edgar Allan Poe movie or story with this in mind.
I mean, these guys tried. This is exactly what they were doing.
True.
They definitely did it.